This is the moment we've all been waiting for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Welcome to another episode of the Chokeslam Wrestling Report, episode 303, as we are reviewing Night of Champions. As you can see the thumbnail, Sami did what? No way. This cannot happen at all. And as you can see, we also got the winners of the King and Queen of the Ring tournament, and we're going to be going through all the matches and whatnot, and we're definitely going to be talking about this and whatnot. So let's talk about the event itself. I mean, the event itself was not bad at all. I gave this whole show a 6 and whatnot because of the women's United States title match. But we'll talk about that when we get there. But first of all, they started off the show with the King of the Ring finals between Jey Uso versus Femi. Now, we had to expect that Jey Uso was going to do what he does best and whatnot, is yeet, gas himself out and whatnot, and you know. But by the time Femi went to the ring, you could see that Jey Uso was tired and whatnot. He kept looking at the crowd, like saying to himself, I'm going to win this. And I mean, and as soon as Femi came into a loud ovation and whatnot. And what does Jey Uso does? He goes and does, run it back and whatnot. And you can tell he was tired. So my thing is why he continues to do this and why does WWE allow this to happen? Because, first of all, this is something I keep saying. This running back stuff is one of the reasons why they're losing audience on TV. He is blown out by the time the match starts. And people are wondering why, Raw is losing, fans left and right. They have lost close to almost 3.1 million fans and whatnot. Because they were close to 5 million when they first started in Netflix and whatnot. I could be, a matter of fact, let me correct that. It's 2.6 fans that they have lost. Because they were 4.5 when they did their debut in Netflix. And look at it now. They're close to 1.98 globally. It's globally. Because they don't count United States. And Netflix does not do what USA Network does when they count it from the day of the event. They count it as 7 days and whatnot. But the Femi versus Jey Uso. It's true what some podcast says that they have made Jey Uso this Jey Superman Uso, where he does comebacks and whatnot, where you say to yourself, come on, you're doing all this against a guy is over. He has taken over a lot of the matches. He's unstoppable and whatnot. This is a guy who beat Brock Lesnar in less than 6 minutes and whatnot, even though he lost the second time, which didn't make no sense. But you see it. You see it right there where the man is made of. And here comes Jey Uso and tries to be the Superman type. At one point in the match, as this been talked after this match was over, Jey put the sleeper hold on Femi. Femi is not even tapping. He's hitting the mat to get support from the fans. And they were claiming that he tapped out. Jey Uso claimed that he tapped out. Bronson Reed went on social media to stir it off and say, hey, Us, I think he tapped out. And now they're trying to make this some type of controversy. He did not tap out. You got some fans that got no brains claim that he got tapped out. You know what I'm saying? And this is where we get Oba Femi ends up beating Jey Uso, which was the right call. Because who the hell wants to see Jey Uso win the King of the Ring and get a title shot and win the title when we already know what he did when he had the World Heavyweight title and whatnot? First of all, he was blown out. Second of all, he wasn't putting seats in stadiums. And I don't care what anybody says, oh, but everybody, you see a lot of people yeet, because these are the same people who pay a lot of money, and most of them are kids. You know what I'm saying? So Jey Uso project failed again, and now people are talking about, he may protest over this match and whatnot, and I hope not, because in reality, let's stop the bullshit. Let's be realistic. You know what I'm saying? I do not want to see a Jey Uso versus Roman Reigns again. I don't want to see a Jey Uso versus Cody. Don't want to see that again. Okay? So I do not want to see any of that. And speaking to some of my friends who do podcasts and whatnot, even them, they tired of the bloodline nonsense. You know what I'm saying? Because this is what they do. It's actually like we actually see a WWE 2K26 video game. Because that's what they do. You know what I'm saying? This is exactly what they do. You know what I'm saying? So Oba Femi wins the men's King of the Ring. Then they went to Danhausen. And this was stupid. Because the minute he did this, WWE already had told everybody the outcome of the match even before it even started. They gave you the results before even any of the ladies stepped in the ring. Danhausen ended up cursing Liv Morgan and whatnot. And that right there told you that Liv Morgan was going to lose to Io Sky. But here's the crazy part. Because Io Sky, these two ladies had an okay match. It wasn't bad. You know what I'm saying? Io Sky deserved to win the King of the Ring or the Queen of the Ring, but they're going to run it back. It's like seeing the Yeet again, but it's going to be running back. It's now Liv Morgan going to put the world title, her world title, against Io Sky. First of all, Liv Morgan should have never, ever been in this tournament. Okay? You could have gave it to somebody else. You know what I'm saying? And Liv Morgan will wait for the winner. And Liv Morgan, that I know of, I don't even think she has defended that belt since WrestleMania. You know what I'm saying? She's becoming another Jade Cargill. You know what I'm saying? And it's getting ridiculous. And I think WWE is like in love with this woman, that she gets to compete in a slot that could have been given to anybody in the roster. She gets to compete in the Queen of the Ring tournament, makes the finals, loses, and now she's going to go and defend her belt at SummerSlam. So, I mean, she's not defending the belt in July. She ain't probably losing that belt to August. This goes to show you how the women's division is being run in WWE. You know what I'm saying? Now, if we're going to have it again, then Io Sky should beat Liv Morgan for that belt. I don't want to see Liv Morgan beating Io Sky at SummerSlam and whatnot and getting away with it. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with Oba Femi. If it's not Roman Reigns, I don't want to hear that he's challenging, the world champion in SmackDown. It makes no sense. Roman Reigns is the goal for Oba. There's no ifs, no buts. That's the goal. That's the match people want to see. You know what I'm saying? If people talking about that Roman Reigns is going to have a long reign, he's not. He is not. He even mentioned it that his daughter wants him to, this reign be his last one. His oldest daughter. Because remember, Roman Reigns on the chemotherapy, orally chemotherapy. He said that in an interview where they asked him that same question. This is when he was the unified world champion. So, you know what I'm saying? He still can wrestle whatever, but how much more he got left? So if it's not Roman Reigns, then what was the point of doing this whole tournament then? You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I expected Brock to show up at, a Night of Champions because supposedly, these fake ass, journalists. Oh, Brock Lesnar was spotted in Saudi Arabia. Really? What was he doing? Chilling with the king because he didn't show up at Night of Champions. So, what are y'all talking about, yo? Like, stop the nonsense trying to act like y'all Dave Meltzer or Jim Cornette or something. Stop. Stop with these fake ass reporting because he was not in Saudi Arabia. I can guarantee you he's going to fly all the way from Vancouver or wherever the hell he's at in Canada to fly all the way to Saudi Arabia to attack over Femi and whatnot. It's not happening. It's not happening, folks. It's not happening right now, but it's not happening. And it didn't happen. Thank God there was no interference, even from the IYO Sky versus, Liv Morgan. No Judgment Day bullcrap with that group should be broken up a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? None of that. We didn't have none of that. So, thank God. But this Danhausen nonsense, this guy's getting a lot of TV time and whatnot, and everything is stupid comedy. I'm going to say this right now because I remember when Danhausen was in Ring of Honor, no one gave a rat's ass about this man. I had people come to me and say, oh, he can't wrestle. The guy's horrible. I personally liked him because it was a new gimmick and whatnot, and he wrestles all right. But now he's in WWE, he doesn't wrestle. And this is probably one of the reasons why AEW weren't taking him serious, because it's like AEW is about pro wrestling. There's no every week you're trying to be the doctor that creates Frankenstein, and he's putting people and touching stuff, getting electrocuted. It's just horrible. And here we had it again with Danhausen showing up before the match between Liv Morgan and IYO Sky, and WWE gave you the results before these women step in the ring. What are we doing? What are we doing? That is the question. Because WWE just gave you the results, and you might as well not even bother to see the match. Danhausen cursed Liv Morgan, and probably because she got cursed, now she'll lose the belt. She'll lose the belt at SummerSlam. So then we had the steel cage match between Seth Rollins versus Bron Breakker. Now, I had no problem with this matchup. The only problem I had was the result, even though this match was the best match of the night. Even though the main event gave you a shocking result, but this match was the match of the night for me. You know what I'm saying? These two went at it. There was a steel cage. They brought in all their weapons inside the ring, which was a good thing. So it's not like you get out the cage, bring in a table. But this was the way they would have had the steel cage match. They made Bron Breakker what he really is, a badass and whatnot. I just didn't like the fact that you had Seth Rollins beat Bron Breakker. This man had momentum about 2 years ago. And they stopped that momentum when they made, again, Jey Uso beat him for the Intercontinental belt. Bron Breakker's 51-day reign ended because WWE was so, hooked with this bloodline bullshit and whatnot that Solo Sikoa kind of came out. I remember that. And I think Jacob Fatu, that was the first time Jacob Fatu and Bron Breakker met up, whatever. And he got distracted and had Jey Uso win the title. Jey Uso lost the belt afterwards to Bron Breakker, but then Bron Breakker had another 51 days, and he has not gotten that momentum. He had that momentum coming in last year when he betrayed Seth Rollins, and then he got hurt. And I don't know what WWE's doing with this man, because right now, we saw him lose to Seth Rollins, where Seth Rollins gave him a super stomp from the second rope to beat him. He was bleeding from the side of his eye, and then they were talking about, now Seth Rollins could put the vision behind him. What are we doing? So where does Seth Rollins goes from here? The vision is not behind him. People forget that Bronson Reed is in getting, recuperating. He's going to be back and whatnot. Now, unless that they go and Heyman turns on Bron Breakker and now Bron Breakker becomes a fan favorite, I don't want Bron Breakker to be a fan favorite. Not right now. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what they're doing. But this was the match of the night. These dudes went at it. It was physical. It was everything you could expect it. But I don't think this is what it was the right call. Seth Rollins don't need to win. Seth Rollins could take a loss. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have a young guy losing to a 42-year-old guy. You know what I'm saying? And this is the problem. This is what WWE losing fans. Because they go out of their way to make sure that the regular guys that's been there 15, 20 years win matches over the younger talent. It doesn't make sense to me at all. Because at the end of the day, if this is the case, where, as I say, Seth Rollins already finished up with the division, but usually in the cage matches, that is the end of a feud. So you end a feud with Bron Breakker, and where does Seth go from here? He's going to go after Roman Reigns. Is he going to be the one that he's going to challenge Roman Reigns for the title, and we're going to have Roman Reigns against Seth Rollins again? And I hope not, because over Femi just won King of the Ring. It won't make sense. You know what I'm saying? I think Bronson Reed's going to come back, and he'll be the one who's going to take out Seth Rollins. It's not over. I don't think it's over. Michael Cole said, hey, Seth Rollins will put the vision behind him. I don't think so. This is not over. You know what I'm saying? Because if it is, where does Bron Breakker go from here? You know? It's the same thing I said about Solo. Solo right now lost his whole MFT. Where does he go from there? He's over here offering LA Knight help against the Bloodline. Again, it's a lot of Scooby-Doo shit that Triple H does. You know? You know what I'm saying? It's ridiculous. Scooby-Doo bullshit he does all the time, to try to figure out the mystery of what's going to be next for Bron Breakker. It's just stupid. It's just nonsense. Then we had the United States title match. Ricky Sainz versus Trick Williams. Was this match good? There was one part the Trick Williams went for a kick and got caught in the ropes with his leg hanging from the top rope. And instead of him moving the leg, he just stood there for a good 5 to 6 seconds to where Ricky Sainz went and did, I think, a drop kick or something. And I'm like, the timing is there bad. Now, was the match good? The match was good. But I knew that Ricky Sainz was not going to win. And I say that because when Ricky Sainz came in to the main roster, he lost to Cody automatically. He was already looking at the lights. You know what I'm saying? And now he gets a shot at the United States title, and he goes and loses to Trick Williams, looking up at the lights. It's another AEW guy who decided to leave to WWE thinking, he had this hope that WrestleMania will be in New Orleans. He had an opportunity, but WWE did win and decided they're going to put it in Saudi. And, Ricky, I'm sure Ricky Sainz thinks that he's in a better spot now than he was in AEW. I don't see it happening. For the simple reason is he already been seeing the lights as of late. And now he had a United States title shot. He lost and whatnot. And I'm saying he's going to be looking a lot at the lights coming up. When do you see Ricky Sainz with a title around his waist? Beats me. Because the IC title, Penta has it. And, he's in Raw. And the only title that he could have went after was the one Trick Williams, and Trick Williams beat him. So, what are you going to do about that? You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. I feel like Ricky Sainz I seen Ricky Sainz, I'm like, he's missing something in the ring. And this is the thing when I think about when wrestlers come from another company, they go and WWE goes and transform them to something that they're not. Which what I'm saying is they change their style of wrestling according to them, entertaining skills. And Ricky Sainz does not look like the Ricky Sainz that I remember in AEW. Now, you're probably going to say, well, he was in NXT all this time. I don't watch NXT. I don't care, especially now. I don't even care to watch NXT. You know what I'm saying? So, to me, is like, it's not the same Ricky Sainz or Ricky Starks that I remember from AEW. So, he losing to Trick Williams, was I surprised? No. Now, these two has faced each other in NXT. I think Ricky Sainz had a 2-0 against him. He beat him twice already. So this time they figure, well, you know, I'm the United States champion. You beat me twice in NXT, but this ain't NXT, so you're taking the L. It is what it is. So so I don't see Ricky Sainz getting no title no time soon. He's going to be taking a lot of losses, especially in SmackDown and whatnot, unless he joins a group or whatever it is. Then we have probably one of the worst matches in this card. And it was Jade Cargill versus Tiffany Stratton. Now, it's funny because I read something about Jade Cargill talking about she loves wrestling Tiffany Stratton. These two girls do not have no chemistry. Okay? It was just looking at two females that just came up from NXT. Now, Tiffany Stratton used to wrestle way better than what she wrestles now. I don't know what they told her. I don't know what they had changed on her, but this is not the Tiffany Stratton I saw about 2 or 3 years ago when she participated in the War Games. I think it was the War Game or Elimination Chamber, one of those. When I first saw Tiffany Stratton in the Elimination Chamber, she was a badass. Woman was doing the most prettiest moonsault. And I was like, yo, this girl is off the hook. But then I saw her wrestle Jade Cargill the first time and whatnot. And I was like, okay, what happened there? Then they wrestled again where Jade Cargill beat Tiffany Stratton for the women's title, the SmackDown title, whatever, the WWE title, which is the one that she only defended it once against Jordan Grace and whatnot, doing the whole reign probably 100-something days. But then I'm like, I was like, now she's going for the United States title and whatnot. And she's making enemies everywhere because right now she has beef with Charlotte Flair. The fact that they got Jade Cargill with Mean Gene and B-Fab, to call all the baddies, no. You need to get these women away from Jade Cargill because those girls, no one cares for them. You know what I'm saying? You can't team up a wrestler who's, she's got the look factor. She can't wrestle real good either. She still looks green. But if you got a woman that has everything, the look, the style, everything, and you put her with two losers, I'm sorry, because Minching and B-Fab, I mean, these are mid-card girls. They're pretty much, I think even Jade Cargill was beating them a couple of months ago and whatnot. So you got these girls with Jade Cargill. Who came up with this idea? So now she's beefing with Charlotte, and Charlotte was the one. But first it was, oh my God, Chelsea Green. They came on Tiffany Stratton's aid and took out B-Fab and Minchie. Then Jade Cargill went and tried to use the belt to hit Tiffany Stratton while, the girls were distracting the referee. But then Charlotte took the belt and hit Jade Cargill with the belt, and Tiffany wins the match. Now, in what I saw there, I said, why is Jade Cargill going from what she had the world title, got a title match, I think it was on Clash of Italy, and now she's going for the lower belt. What are we doing? But I'm glad that they didn't give her the United States title because now it's going to set up her and Charlotte. Do I want to see these two go at it? I mean, it'll be a good match, probably, depending on how Charlotte comes in and whatnot, because Charlotte sometimes botches a lot of her moves, and then she's with the other queen of botches, Jade Cargill. I mean, this was not a good match. And that's just the reason I gave it a 6. Because this was the match that pretty much messed up the whole thing for the card. Because I felt that this match could have been a little better, but Tiffany Stratton is not wrestling the way she used to. No freaking way at all. So pretty much we're gonna have SummerSlam Jade Cargill versus Charlotte. That's already been built. I don't know what's good for Tiffany Stratton and whatnot. This word, I don't know if it's her, but that she's not happy in WWE. So, I mean, I'm not surprised. I mean, the way WWE, I can't even talk. WWE is being run, nobody's happy. You know what I'm saying? So, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. And then we had the triple threat match. Now, this I was looking forward to because I'm like, okay, is Gunther going to win the belt back? And Cody loses the belt. You know what I'm saying? And Sami, he got a big pop when he came out. Of course, he was in Saudi Arabia, you know, and he's very popular in that side of the country. And it was a good match. I mean, you had one point you had Sami Zayn go through a table, courtesy of Cody Rhodes giving him a backdrop from one table to another. Then you had Gunther put Cody. He had to powerbomb him twice to break the commentary, because the first time he powerbombed him, it didn't break. He powerbombed Cody, it didn't break. So he powerbombed him again and put him through the table. And whatnot. I think a cameraman was right next to it and he got hurt. So, but the crazy part is Cody went for, you know, the crossroads. He had Gunther and Sami at the same time. He does the crossroads, and then he tried to go after Sami. I think he went, I don't remember what he went for, but Sami went and turned it to a roll up, and he ended up, I think he went for another crossroad, and Sami reversed it and did a roll up, and he pinned Cody Rhodes. Now, it was funny because the night before in SummerSlam, Cody told him you will never be world champion. And who did Sami Zayn did the reversal and the roll up? On Cody Rhodes. Now, this was shocking because when I saw it, I was like, oh, hell no. They pulled the trigger, because I thought they were going to pull the trigger for next year when WrestleMania 43 is in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. But they did it on, you know, on Night of Champions. So, you know, to me, am I happy that Sami won? I'm happy for the fact that this man's been in the wrestling business for 20-something years, has won, you know, he won the, I think he won the United States title. He had the United States title. He won the Intercontinental title. He won the tag team title. He won now he won the WWE title. So pretty much he's like a Grand Slam champion. I don't know if he's missing. I don't know if they consider that Grand Slam, because they'll probably, oh, you got to win the world title. You got to win the other set of tag team belts, the Grand Slam champion. But Sami was deserving. I don't care what anybody say, oh, Sami's boring, Sami's there, but Sami deserves it. 24 years in the business, and he finally could say, I was WWE World Champion, or I am a WWE World Champion. You know what I'm saying? So, but it was shocking. This was, I think that move was the one that saved this whole event. You know what I'm saying? Even though the Seth Rollins and Bron Breakker match was good, and I think it was match of the night, the shocking ending of this event was the thing that made it even a little better. Because my boy Redeemer gave it a 7. Some people gave it a 10 by 10, which I'm like, no, this one's not a 10. You know what I'm saying? Now, don't get me wrong, they were batting 1,000 because all the matches and the results were correct. You know, with the exception of Sami Zayn, which caught me off guard, and you know they pulled the trigger. I'm not saying that I'm not happy. I mean, Cody Rhodes right now, as far as being the world champion, you know, this is the problem with the WWE Universe. They turn on you real quick. Once they see that you become boring, they turn on you. But you can't blame Cody. You blame the bookers. blame the people who have created the stories. They haven't done shit with Cody since he lost the belt to John Cena. And I don't want to see Cody Rhodes with the belt again. I don't. I really don't. He had his run. He's a 3-time world champion. You don't need to give him another shot. He's in the same boat as his father, a 3-time NWA world champion. Now he's a 3-time WWE champion. You know what I'm saying? So let's leave it like that. There's no need for you to go another route. I thought they were going to hold Cody with his belt until CM Punk comes back and have his match with Cody. And now they could still have it, and they're probably going to go after it for an opportunity for the world title. Do I want to see CM Punk back? No. My man's on steroids. I'll tell you that right now. My man looks buff. He on steroids. Anyway, but, CM Punk going to SmackDown, that's going to change everything and whatnot. It may, you're probably going to see different stuff or whatever, but it's just, we'll see what happens. But now Cody getting the belt back, I don't want. But then there was a very interesting video I saw this morning when I got up. There was it probably was, how you call it? A special video from WWE. We saw Gunther going to the back and get into an argument with Nick Aldis and told Nick Aldis, this is what you wanted. You was trying to embarrass me, whatever. And Gunther put his hands on Nick Aldis. Nick Aldis, you could hear it. He got mad. He even said the F word, but they cover it. So WWE's teasing a match between Nick Aldis and Gunther. Listen, take my money. I want to see that match. You know what I'm saying? Because Nick Aldis, one of the greatest NWA world champion, the man who held the NWA belt 1,000 days. And I'm not talking about because Ric Flair held it more. This is when Ric Flair era, back at that NWA. But the Billy Corgan NWA, he had that for 1,000 days. And of course, Billy Corgan did him dirty, like like the a-hole he is. You know what I'm saying? So he kind of he did him dirty. So I've been wanting to see Nick Aldis wrestle. I haven't seen Nick Aldis wrestle since he wrestled Jacob Fatu in House of Glory. You know what I'm saying? That was the last time I saw him. You know what I'm saying? That was a good match and whatnot. Got to meet the guy also. Very, very humble guy. You know what I'm saying? I will pay to see Gunther versus Nick Aldis. Make it happen, WWE. I will pay for that. So, so it's very interesting because now we're going to see where it goes. Now, I saw some posts talking about, Gunther's about to get fired, but it's a fucking storyline. These guys are clowns. You know what I'm saying? And they probably are going to talk about, they're going to get fired, but he's not going to get fired. What are they going to fire him for? You know what I'm saying? He wants Nick Aldis. Put him in the ring with Nick Aldis. Let's get it, make it happen. You know what I'm saying? So, overall, the whole show was a 6 for me. Some people had a 7. Some people had it, a 10, which I was like, what the hell were you watching? So there's no way that was a 10. No way. Now, did WWE bat at 1,000? Yes. They did bat at 1,000 because every result was not a bad result. The Sami Zayn winning the world title, that was a shocker. And this is why I love it, because it leaves it as cliffhanger. We got to see now what's going to happen on Thursday. Who's going to be the first one to challenge Sami Zayn for that world title? Is Gunther going to come out and challenge Sami Zayn? Because, Sami Zayn is supposed to be a heel or a tweener. I'm going to call him a tweener because he's the last good guy. So WWE is making him look like a bad guy. But then he's a good guy, the last good guy. So I'm going to be surprised if Gunther challenges him and then Nick Aldis be like, nope, you're not getting no more title shots. And that's what it's going to be. That storyline's going to start. Then I'm wondering if CM Punk comes back and, and comes to SmackDown and challenges Sami Zayn for the belt. So it's a lot of questions. We're going to see what happens this week in Raw and SmackDown. So again, this was not a bad show. Was not a bad show. Again, now we're going to see Jade Cargill versus Charlotte. I hope when these women go at it, No botches, please. No botches. So we'll see what happens. But this is it for me, guys. Again, guys, you want to follow me, you can follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and also on TikTok. You can also follow my YouTube channel, of course. We're almost getting to 2,000 subscribers. So subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell for new uploads and whatnot, and check out all the episode on the channel if you have missed any of them and whatnot. We just did the AEW Forbidden Door predictions. It's going to be on and whatnot. So we did that. You go check that out. Let us know what you think about that. Who's going to win in those matches and whatnot. So, let me know. So there's a lot of content in my channel and whatnot. And also check out the podcast store. We got t-shirts, hats, and hoodies. Go to tcwr.veryimpressive.com. That's tcwr.veryimpressive.com. Also, we're part of the Debate Network, the Circle of Debate. Check out my fellow colleagues and whatnot from the Circle of Debate. They're on watch-alongs all week. They got the WWE Raw Monday night watch-along, the NXT on Tuesday, AEW Dynamite on Wednesday, TNA on Thursday, Friday SmackDown, and any pay-per-view that's up, they'll be in the watch-along, so show them some love. Shout out to my boys, Justin, the Redeemer, OPC, Papi Chulo, and whatnot, the top row talk, my boy Psycho, and whatnot. So, show them some love and whatnot. Show some love to the Circle Debate. But that is it for me today, guys. I am tired, and I'm tired, and I'm hoping I could be able to see this pay-per-view coming up. So let me know what you think, guys, and whatnot. Leave me your comments down below, and I will appreciate it. Until then, guys, be safe, and I'll see you next weekend, July 4th weekend, as we review Forbidden Door. So that's going to be the next episode. So until then, guys, peace.